So I was just sitting here with my son, and sometimes we have these really deep conversations. It always cracks me up because, people will say, "Oh, what grade you in, buddy?" or whatever this or whatever that. Or they'll think he's uneducated because he can't talk about a textbook or something like this. And, I always tell people, my children are educated with exactly what they need to know, what really matters at the end of the day. Because all the book smarts in the world will get you nowhere in life if your insides aren't right, if your heart's not right. Your mind can have all the brilliance it wants to have in the world, and you can gain all the riches with that brilliance. But if your heart's not right, your riches meant absolutely nothing, which means your book smarts meant absolutely nothing. So, in knowing that spiritually and emotionally and physically, in this whole inner alignment so long ago, and it feels like it's been just this lifelong journey now to be where I'm at and to look backwards. Like, even the moments I look at now as low moments, they were part of the growing. They were part of this strengthening. So I was having this really deep conversation today with my son. And of course, we're talking about modern events, current events, some random stuff in the news once in a while. But I'm sitting there and we're talking obviously about the COVID shot and, how they're still saying they want everybody to get it. But the question remains to me is this. And I don't even know what those scientists and what those warfare people are called, okay? And that's not my department. But what I do know is I'm an HLHS warrior mom. I have a son who has hypoplastic left heart syndrome. And he's had 3 open heart surgeries. And just as a heart mom, a little bit of college medical background I have, which is minute compared to the doctors and the surgeons and the lawyers and the people who go to school for, so many years. They're paying off student loans for years. Let's face it, that's kind of where that ends up. But just me, as a heart mom, I can look at my son and I can tell him beyond a shadow of a doubt, for the first 7 years of his life, the slightest little nasal cold could walk by him and his body would mutate that germ into something profusely horrific that would last for 3 months. We couldn't take him anywhere. We're calling at the family get-togethers. Hey, does anybody look like they're sick? Okay, we'll come over. Oops, sorry, we can't make it. That's the life of being a parent, a heart kiddo, a hypoplast kiddo. It was extremely, it was that way for sure. And it wasn't always because we thought they wouldn't make it through getting sick. Obviously their body was much weaker and that's a danger. But it was also because by about the 4th or 5th time we did expose them to germs, we knew what a pain in the butt they were to get rid of. When our friend's kid only had the sniffles for 2 days and our kid has got the sniffles that turns into this, that turns into this, that turns into this 3 months later. And so just knowing that his body, somehow, the way it works, it mutates every germ it gets. Now, you gotta know that these scientists and these bioengineer warfare people, hoot-madooters, you gotta know that these dudes, they did their math. They did their homework on this vaccine. And they got stats up the yin-yang and the wazoo. And I'm just saying there's gotta be a stat for what is the percentage of the population whose bodies are going to mutate this and cause a new strand. Because I'm just saying they're still trying to, make sure that we're getting this vaccine and that it becomes mandatory. However, they're also already talking about the new strand of it that this shot doesn't work so great for. So, I don't know. It's kind of a wild thought. And my son and I are talking about that. Because if they know that and they have those statistics, first of all, why are they offering it? What were the numbers? I think we deserve to know. Second of all, once they saw that a new strand is indeed happening, why do we still need vaccine A? Because that doesn't seem smart anymore. And wasn't the JJ shot messed up anyways? I've got a dear friend close to my heart that has not had a good day's rest since he got that vaccine. He has been sicker than sicker with complications like no tomorrow. And his system was already at risk. Wasn't there statistics saying people with these conditions pre-existing should not get this specific shot? There should have been. And if there was, why did somebody give it to him? I don't know, just random thoughts that are happening in the world of my mind, talking with my kids, because they don't really have a grade level, they have a life level. And it's, how much better are you today than you were yesterday? And how much have you grown? And how can you be a bigger blessing to humanity tomorrow?